Pastor Rich here. Okay, this one is going to try to explain to some of you what grace is. I'm going to give you this example of what happened to me when I was, I believe, 19, when I had first gotten my driver's license. I asked my mom if I could, go for a ride. Okay, she said, fine. I took her car, got a couple of friends, and we went joyriding. So as I'm driving all over, this was in the Bronx, and all of a sudden I get to a certain spot and I said, wait a minute, how stupid is that? And the guys in the car was like, what? And I said, look at that. Which idiot hung traffic lights backwards? And nobody said anything. And I'm thinking, wow, that's what kind of country is this? So why would you do something so stupid? And then flashing lights behind me. So I pulled over, then there was a cop. And then all of a sudden, license registration and all of that. So I gave it to him, and I was new and I didn't understand some of the terminology. I gave him my license, he asked for registration insurance. I said, I don't have that. I said, check the glove compartment. So I went in there, took it out, gave it to him. He says, what are you doing? I said, well, I just got my license. I was driving, just for a joyride, practice. He says, okay, you're driving down a one way and I should give you a ticket. But, since you're new and blah, 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 here's your license. Do me a favor, go home and park. I said, okay, officer, thank you. You see, that officer demonstrated grace. Did I break the motor vehicle law or the driving law of the country? Yes, I did. Because I was driving down a one-way without knowing. It doesn't matter whether you sin willingly or unwillingly, you are still sinning before God. But this officer did not punish me for what I have done wrong. That is an example of grace. So you see, while we cannot see the extent of our wrongs, for example, look at this carefully. What if someone was coming down the right way with his wife in labor and speeding to get to the hospital? And because of my ignorance, it could have ended up in the loss of a life. You see, God sees the potential of our doing. Whatever decisions we make, He sees the good or bad of everything to the entirety of it. See, we only see what's in front of us, like a child, basically, like a 3-year-old child. They cannot see the potential of their decisions or errors. And when we use that as an example before God, we're exactly the same thing. We will basically only use 10% of our brain. What about that 90% that we can't access? We're just a bunch of idiots thinking that we know everything when it comes to God. My thoughts are not your thoughts. Anyway, habit of going too far with my explanation here. Okay, so grace. He did not impute the punishment that I deserved, which was a ticket for driving down a one-way. This officer showed grace. So that is the grace, but the grace has a cost now, biblically, and that was the life of Jesus. Because every single sin, the Bible says, the wages of sin is death. Once you sin against God, you must die, because God is so holy. Oil and water cannot mix. They constantly repel each other. Now, beyond that and the science of it, I cannot explain, but God makes it right between Him and us. And that gap is Christ. That is the grace that He gave us, is a person, Jesus. So, once again, it is all the key is born again. That is the key to establish to accept this grace. You don't have to. You want to live without it? That's up to you. But I'm living by God's grace, and I have accepted that. So, whatever decision you make, my friends, it's up to you. But I've just explained to you what grace is. It is something that everybody says and knows there's commonly is what you don't deserve. Okay? And mercy, we're not talking about mercy, just grace. I hope that helped you to understand. I'm Pastor Rich, Walking Ministries Online, and I will see you soon.